welcome back to another episode of the Washington Carter YouTube channel, your one-stop shop for all Washington Commanders news, updates, etc. We are back with another video today, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking more about the game last night, kind of recapping it a little bit more, but we're just going to talk about this Victory Sunday that we have on our hands. Before we get into it, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Now let's go ahead and get into the video. So, as you all know, the Washington Commanders defeated the Detroit Lions last night 45-31, and the Commanders are headed to the NFC Championship game, which is absolutely unbelievable. You probably have heard all the people, talking about all this Commanders. I mean, we're the talk of the town, we're the talk of the world right now, and what Jaden Daniels is doing, the greatest rookie of all time, and also, Mike Sanders could be in the Defensive Rookie of the Year category now after having those 2 interceptions last night, showing out last night. And so everything went right last night. We took down the Lions. We're headed to the NFC Championship game. Daniels keeps proving himself, and the defense had 5 turnovers. Dan Quinn keeps proving how he's still a great head coach in this league. And, we really just wrote everyone off. I mean, everyone was saying stuff about us, and we just didn't listen to it. The media will stir up stuff and talk about you, and we just didn't listen to it. The Commanders came out here ready to play, and they played a great game on a short week. The Lions had a bye week last week. We were coming off a short week after beating the Bucs on Sunday Night Football. I mean, can you believe it? Wow. We beat the Detroit Lions by 14 points. 14. This is the number 1 seed in the NFC. And okay, no. You can't say Jaden Daniels is in the top 5 quarterback in this league anymore. He might be the best. I'm not going to lie, he might be the best. That's not trying to be biased or anything. He might be the best. I mean, a lot of teams in the NFL will trade their whole team for Jaden Daniels right now. This is the greatest rookie campaign we've ever seen, we've ever witnessed, and Washington hasn't been to an NFC Championship game in 33 years. It's truly amazing what Jaden Daniels is doing with the Commanders right now, and he has this team, he has these fans in a spot that they've never been in before. A lot of them, they've never been in before, and the Washington Commanders are now 14-5 on the season, headed to the NFC Championship game. I mean, literally 2 games away from the Super Bowl. 2 games away from the Super Bowl. Wow, I mean, it's unbelievable when you really think about it. It's truly unbelievable. I mean, this guy came in here coming off a 4-13 last year, 4-13 record last year. You brought in Adam Peters. You brought in Dan Quinn. You brought in Jaden Daniels, obviously second pick in the NFL draft. And you are now sitting at 14-5, 2 games away from the Super Bowl. Could potentially win the Super Bowl this year. Really, whoever wins today, the Rams, the Eagles, you're not scared of them next week to get to the Super Bowl. Guys, we could be in the Super Bowl. We could be in the Super Bowl this year. This is supposed to be a rebuild year. Man, this ain't no rebuild year. Jaden Daniels said, we're not rebuilding this year. And I'm so happy for Terry McLaurin. He had a great game last night. Terry McLaurin, just finally gets his quarterback and balling out this season. I believe he has like 17 touchdowns, which is crazy. De'Ami Brown is another guy that really stepped up. Amon-Ra St. Brown, can I hear you right now? Did you say something? No. He had those comments about De'Ami Brown 2 years ago that people were talking about today. And what he said about De'Ami Brown being drafted before him, it was just crazy, and we've shut him up right now. We've shut him up. I can't hear you, Ben Johnson. I can't hear you, Dan Campbell. I can't hear you, De'Ami Brown. I can't hear you, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can't hear you, Jared Goff. We just took down the Lions. We just took down the number one seed in the NFC. Jaden Daniels, the lion tamer, the most poised guy I think I've ever seen play football. I mean, it's kind of like another version of Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow is always comfortable, always cool, always stands back in the pocket and delivers good balls. Um, it's kind of what Jaden Daniels is, but Jaden Daniels is kind of a better version because Joe Burrow's never going to take off running, but Jaden Daniels does all the time. And speaking of running the ball, last night we were able to do that effectively. Brian Robinson Jr., 15 carries, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. We've been hating on Brian Robinson Jr. a lot. We've been saying bad stuff about him, but really, last night he really showed up. So you got to give him his credit there, and you have to make it known that he did really good. Jeremy McNichols also stepped up. Austin Eckler goes over 100 yards from scrimmage. So the run game was just really effective last night, and that was one of the key factors. That's one of the key factors why we won this game. Was the run game was very, very effective. And but also the passing game. I mean, you had De'Ami Brown, a guy stepping up to the plate. Terry McLaurin, as always, going to step up to the plate. I mean, we had Noah Brown go out a few weeks ago, and we needed guys to step up to the plate, and they certainly have. Zach Ertz has been great all year. I mean, Zach Ertz has been arguably a top 10 tight end all year in the NFL. This is his 14th season, I believe. And this guy's been a top 10 wide receiver. So it's just unbelievable what this team was able to do last night on a national stage. And now we are looking to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, it's crazy how last year we were already looking at draft position. We might have already hired our head coach if it were last year. I don't know. I don't think. We already hired our GM if it were last year. We might have already hired our head coach. I don't know. And this year we're still in it. We're still alive today. And we just have to watch these games today. We have to. I guess I'm hoping for the Rams to win. But I'm not scared of either team. I'm not scared of the Eagles or Rams for the NFC Championship game. I'm not scared of it. Any of the teams. We just knocked off the number one seed. I'm not scared of any of these teams. And I'm telling you that with a straight face. I'm not scared of any of these teams. I know our defense has been a little bit wacky in the past, has been not able to stop the run, but we got 5 turnovers last night. I mean, the defense is going to step up when it needs to. I think that's one thing that we've really learned this year is the defense steps up when it needs to. And they might not have the best game, all throughout the game. They might not have the best thing going, but they find a way at the end to kind of bring it all together and get one last stop. I mean, you saw Quan Martin with an interception. We knew this guy was a stud, but he just proved it again. Mike Sainristil, 2 interceptions. Are you serious? This guy's rookie getting 2 interceptions in a divisional round game in the playoffs? I mean, come on. Come on. This is crazy. And this is real. This is Commanders football at its best in 20 plus years. I've never witnessed something like this, and we are now in the NFC Championship game. So we gotta be happy about that because that's an insane fact that we are playing meaningful football. We are playing football in general in January, and we now have this team with a great owner. Dan Snyder's not even here anymore. This is a great owner, great GM, great head coach, great quarterback. I mean, this league starts with a quarterback, and we finally got one of them ones. We might have the best quarterback in the NFL right now. I'm not going to lie. Probably not. I know he's definitely top 5, but some of you would argue that he's already the best. Some of the experts would argue that he's the best. I mean, this guy had Tom Brady quiet last night. Quiet. During the game. And Tom Brady couldn't believe how good Jaden Daniels was. So, man, it's just something that we have never witnessed before, and this is certainly insane. This is certainly been a great ride, and we have 2 more games to win, and we will be Super Bowl champions for the 4th time ever. I mean, build that in your head. That is insane. But that's all I got for today. I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Commanders are 14-5 coming off a big win last night. If you haven't watched my post game from last night, make sure you watch that. I went live for 4 hours last night, streamed for 4 hours last night. thank you guys for all the support on that. But for right now, I'm gonna hop off, get this edited, and I will see y'all boys in the next one. Peace out. Hail the Washington Commanders.